When people think about royal families, they often imagine privilege, palaces, luxury, historic traditions, a life protected from ordinary worries. But what if one of the biggest royal stories is actually about sacrifice? Not public appearances, not crowns, not ceremonies, but difficult choices quietly made behind the scenes. Because protecting a future queen may come with emotional costs most people never see. And today, we're exploring one fascinating question. What sacrifices may King Felipe and Queen Letizia have made to protect Princess Leonor? Because sometimes keeping someone safe means giving up far more than people realize. Let's explore the sacrifice of normal family life. Most families experience ordinary moments without much thought. Simple outings, spontaneous plans, private memories, quiet freedom, but royal families often live differently. Security matters. Public visibility changes everything. Even everyday experiences may require careful planning. Imagine wanting your child to enjoy ordinary life, while also knowing extraordinary protection may be necessary. That balance alone could feel emotionally complicated. Perhaps one quiet sacrifice involved giving up parts of normal family life to create stability and security. Not because they wanted distance, but because responsibility demanded caution. And maybe that reality feels harder than outsiders imagine. The decision to protect privacy. Here's something people sometimes overlook. Growing up publicly can create pressure. Photos spread quickly, attention grows, public curiosity follows every stage of life. For parents, protecting childhood may become deeply important. Perhaps part of Felipe and Letizia's effort involved carefully balancing visibility with privacy, allowing Princess Leonor moments of ordinary growth while still preparing her for royal responsibility. That balance may never feel easy, because too much exposure creates pressure, too much distance creates mystery, and somewhere in the middle exists an emotional challenge few parents ever face. Trying to raise a child while the world quietly watches. The sacrifice of complete freedom. Imagine carrying responsibility not only as parents, but as guardians of Spain's future monarchy. Every major decision may feel heavier. Education, public appearances, experiences, preparation for leadership. Perhaps choices weren't simply about parenting, but about protecting the future too. That responsibility alone could shape family life in powerful ways. Because sometimes protection means limits, structure, careful decisions, even when emotions may pull in another direction. And maybe one sacrifice involved giving up total parenting freedom in favor of long-term responsibility. The emotional weight of watching a child grow under pressure. Here's something deeply human people often forget. Parents worry, no matter who they are. Imagine watching your child grow under public expectations, facing scrutiny, pressure, national attention, big responsibilities arriving early. Perhaps Felipe and Letizia sometimes quietly wondered, how do we protect her emotionally? How do we help her stay grounded? How do we prepare her without overwhelming her? Those questions feel universal, yet in royal life, stakes may feel unusually high. Because they aren't simply raising a daughter. They are also preparing someone expected to carry enormous responsibility someday. The possibility of putting duty before comfort. Sometimes love means difficult choices, not easy ones. And perhaps protecting Princess Leonor occasionally required uncomfortable decisions. Greater discipline, more structure, unexpected sacrifices, careful preparation. Maybe there were moments where ordinary freedom had to compete with extraordinary responsibility. And perhaps that emotional balancing act became one of the hardest parts of parenting inside royal life. Because sometimes protecting someone means making choices they may not fully understand until later. Maybe the biggest sacrifice was quietly letting her grow up. Here's an emotional thought. Parents often want to protect children forever. Keep them safe, close, shielded. But eventually, growing up happens. Responsibility grows. Independence becomes necessary. Perhaps one of the hardest sacrifices for Felipe and Letizia has been slowly watching Princess Leonor step closer to a future carrying enormous expectations. Military training, public responsibilities, leadership preparation. That transition may feel emotional for any parent, but perhaps even more emotional when the future carries national importance. Because sometimes love means preparing someone for challenges you wish they never had to face. The human side people sometimes forget. Sometimes people see royal titles and forget the emotional reality underneath. King, queen, princess, future queen, but beneath every title are still relationships. Parents and daughter, worry, pride, protection, love, difficult decisions, and perhaps one emotional truth feels impossible to ignore. Even extraordinary families still experience ordinary fears. Especially when it comes to protecting someone they love. That truth may feel more relatable than people realize. So, what may have been the ultimate sacrifice Letizia and Felipe made to keep Princess Leonor safe? Perhaps not one single dramatic decision, but many quiet sacrifices over time. Privacy, freedom, ordinary family moments, emotional comfort, difficult parenting choices made under extraordinary circumstances. Because protecting someone isn't always visible. Sometimes it happens quietly, behind the scenes, through hard decisions nobody fully sees. And perhaps one day, Princess Leonor may understand just how much love shaped the path that protected her. What do you think? Do royal parents face harder parenting choices than most people imagine? Or does love always demand sacrifice no matter who you are? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal stories, hidden truths, and fascinating discussions.